I wouldn't expect any exclusivity for Diablo or Candy Crush. So I'm kind of sorry to burst everybody's bubble that we're hoping that Call of Duty was going to be exclusive. July 11th was an auspicious day for Microsoft, and if you didn't hear about it, Microsoft finally won its fight with the FTC here in the US to finally acquire Activision, Blizzard, and of course King. There's been a whole bunch of back and forth news between Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo, and all that stuff. And as of right now, Microsoft only has one more hurdle to make this deal official worldwide, and that is of course in the UK, where they were initially denied based on cloud gaming, but now they're actually going back to the drawing board and meeting with the UK's version of the FTC, the Competition and Markets Authority. While the CMA was originally very staunch and against this, after the FTC ruling, I think that they saw the writing on the wall and they just want to get this thing settled, so we should actually hear an agreement reached by August 29th, which was the deadline for them to come up with a new agreement between Microsoft and the CMA. And all that is just a prelude to talk about, is Call of Duty going to be exclusive on the Xbox? And right off the bat, I'm gonna say no, and here's the reason why. This is just a piece of a very long Polygon article, and Microsoft has already finalized a deal to bring Call of Duty to the Nintendo Switch for 10 years. And you might be thinking, yeah, they already had Call of Duties on Nintendo consoles. Fun fact for you, there hasn't been a Call of Duty on a Nintendo console for 10 years itself now, back in 2013. And if you actually remember those Call of Duty games on the Wii or the Wii U, they weren't very good just based on the controls that the Wii and the Wii U had. But now that Microsoft has said that they will produce games for the Nintendo based on Call of Duty for at least 10 years, this absolutely makes me think that Microsoft has no intention of keeping any of these exclusive to the Xbox console. Well, why is that, you might ask? Hey, if you guys like these videos and you find them informative and helpful, take a second and consider hitting that little subscribe button down there. It really does help out the channel and spread the word. And the short answer is money. Microsoft knows how to make money. They are not stupid. They're spending $70 billion to acquire these brands, and they are going to get the absolute most out of them that they can. There are so many different games and so many different brands under this Activision, Blizzard, King umbrella that Microsoft is willing to spend an exorbitant amount of money, and they're going to want that money back. So I would argue that it would actually be really foolish for Microsoft to keep Call of Duty exclusive. I wouldn't expect any exclusivity for Diablo or Candy Crush or any well-known game that you're going to see from these brands. So I'm kind of sorry to burst everybody's bubble that we're hoping that Call of Duty was going to be exclusive, but honestly I think that would be a bad move on Microsoft's part, because think of all the people that you play with online. There's a lot of us that play on PC or PlayStation, and now with the newer gen consoles that are going to be coming out, our Nintendo brethren will also be able to join us for cross-play online. And overall, that is a win for you and me, because we are the consumers that are going to be playing these games. Call of Duty is such a big IP, and I think that this is going to do another thing for Xbox and for Sony PlayStation as well. If you guys have Game Pass, I'm sure you've noticed that Battlefield and a lot of the Battlefield games are actually on Game Pass by EA. So with this acquisition, I would expect to see all the Call of Duty games, all the older ones that everybody loved, to come to Game Pass day one after this deal comes out. For me personally, my favorite Call of Duty game was World at War. I'm a real big history buff, and I like the World War II aspect of playing Call of Duty games. I believe this deal is going to be fantastic for everybody that loves the older Call of Duty games as well. It seems like everybody has their favorite that they just absolutely loved, and if you were going to be able to get back online and play that game, knowing now that there's even more platforms that you're going to have crossplay on, you are absolutely going to hop back on there and play those games. So we won't actually see any type of exclusivity for Xbox for Call of Duty specifically for 10 years at least. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Speaking of Call of Duty, one of the biggest thing, of course, is online multiplayer with this game. And I'm sure at some point or another, we have all had some really negative experiences with people online, either raging on their mic or just making crazy inappropriate comments. And Microsoft is currently testing in developer mode a new reporting feature that will actually let you report what people are actually saying. And that is a topic that I'm going to cover in the next video.